Welcome to the Creative Entrepreneur Show. What do we have this week, Bryon?
Hey Rosh, happy to be here. We are two creative guys talking AI. And it is Thanksgiving week, and I'm smelling all the good food that's starting to get moving, and it's got me feeling very thankful. So today I want to dive into the top 5 reasons why I personally am thankful for AI. And I promised you last week, and where dove into Runway a bit more this week. I used that new character function, and I got some feedback, and it's not all good, Rosh. What do you have going on?
Interesting. Well, hey, the OpenAI folks, they're starting to set their sights on Google, and they're going to perhaps develop something that could compete head to head there, something very important to Google. So we'll talk. It's been in the news lately. And next, we talked last time about getting more into video, and I want to talk about a little bit of about video, some of the different platforms. I know, obviously, you're talking Runway, but
Mhm.
I'll expand on a little bit of that this week.
Very good. All right, cool. I'm excited to hear that. And yeah, I want to know what you're doing on the video side of things because I think I hit a few roadblocks there in Runway. So I'm excited to talk to you about that. So,
Sure.
but all right, let's take it back a step. And yeah, we've got Thanksgiving this week. And, it just had me thinking in general that I am very thankful for AI and for you introducing it to me, what, 2, 3 years ago now. And I just wanted to talk to the audience about, really the top 5 reasons why I am thankful for AI. So, first and foremost, when it comes to my primary job, we are a social media management company, but we don't just manage social media, we create the content. And the days of looking at a blank page and trying to just come up with ideas from thin air or researching and doing different things like that online are kind of done. Where, now instead of thinking of all the right answers, I just have to think of the right questions to ask.
Hmm.
Where I let the AI know, exactly what industry we're in, what we're trying to accomplish, and give it as many caveats as I need to really help. And it's really just helped on the creativity side of giving a lot of ideas to go through. So just that feeling of say some of our clients that we've had here, 4, 5, 6 years. There's only so many ways you could talk about the same type of industry without needing some outside help. So been very, very thankful for it for that reason. Just to go through these quickly here, and you can expand on any of these if you want, but I'm thankful for it for really helping with my band visuals and promotions and stuff, and really helping me on the creative side create stuff that honestly I didn't have the artistic ability to do otherwise. So, very, very thankful for that kind of world. I'm thankful for AI to help me constantly have innovative podcast content. I
Ah.
know this is very meta. I'm using the AI to talk about the AI, but oftentimes I will use it as a sounding board. And to be honest, when it came to this list right now, I popped into Chat-GPT this morning. I said, "Hey, you know me. List 5 reasons that I'm thankful for AI." And honestly, it did it because, it knows my prompt
Yeah,
history
yeah,
and stuff. And
exactly.
I
It knows
haven't,
you.
been hiding things from it or telling it to erase, its history or anything. So, I'd say 80% of this list was generated by AI. And yeah, I'm thankful for it doing that. So, if I'm sometimes struggling for a topic, or if I'm looking for a little extra level of proficiency on that topic, I will often use AI before our podcast begins to get some more information on it. So,
Right.
thankful in that reason. Have you used AI for that reason before?
I have not, and quite honestly, I could hear thousands of people just yeah, saying something is wrong with that, having the AI think for you. But in some ways, we do that every day.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's
Exactly. Yeah.
very, very there's nothing wrong because there are two prompts here. The prompt we give the AI and the prompt the AI gives us.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think that back and forth relationship makes us that much more creative.
Right. Agreed. And the fact that, this AI is remembering all of the many, many reasons that I've used it throughout the years now. It's got a pretty well-rounded, picture of who I am and what I'm trying to accomplish when I'm using it. So there are times you can ask insightful questions about yourself to the AI,
Yes.
and, maybe it's gonna give you something that's a little, you weren't expecting. So, also, efficient problem solving with the projects that I'm working on, like say, for example, the guitar that I built there,
Hmm.
helping with house projects. I used it to help build a few steps into a hot tub for my father. and do that safely. So, just when I'm having these types of, I'm a do-it-yourselfer in almost every way, and it's allowed me to be that much more dangerous in good and bad ways. Let's put it that way. But yeah, and lastly, not to get too sentimental, but it's allowed me to work closer with you, Rosh.
Oh,
We've
thank you.
but I really I appreciate you. I appreciate how you keep me sharp and challenged. And also you keep me up to date on the things going on in the AI world, the same reasons that, our followers would listen to this
Yeah,
show.
right.
And so yeah, that's where I'm feeling. I know we're getting a little sappy and sentimental here, but the computers can't cry yet.
Yeah, not
So
yet.
we're
So we'll
not
have to do
yet.
it
We're
for
teaching them. But yeah. So that is why I'm thankful for AI this week. And, throw it back your way. I'm sure there's probably an idea or two on your head of why you're thankful for
Yeah,
AI.
we've been, I mean, obviously, I've incorporated AI regularly for the last 4 or 5 years, even before ChatGPT came out. And it's been very, very powerful in terms of growing and keeping my business going. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity for the advancements in coding that I can do
Mm,
now with
right.
with AI and working with AI, learning how to work with the AI to create new tools that are helpful to my clients as well as my side projects and doing things that I never could have or would have tried to do. Certainly could have, but I didn't have months of time to
Hmm.
figure it out or even figure out a new language or how to pair languages. So those kinds of things have been very helpful. And then just the casual stuff, again, going around my yard saying, "What's that plant?" and it
Right.
telling me, or
Yeah.
"What's this?" or "What's that?" and it telling me. The other day, I just the back of my TV. I don't even know what size TV this is. What is this? And it told me. And I asked, what? How much did I pay for it? So many years ago. You paid about this price. I mean, it was helpful
Yeah.
information for things that I needed to do. We're getting a new TV, so I
Right.
wanted to know that kind of stuff. But just casual stuff that is always at your fingertips, where you wouldn't even have thought that the AI would have been able to read the barcode and give you all the information that
Right.
is helpful to you. And so there's some new stuff coming out that I'm going to share. But anyway, that's hey, it is my turn. So let
You
me
got the
get into
floor, sir.
that. So what is that big thing that the OpenAI folks are going after? ChatGPT web browser. They're
Hmm.
looking at developing a web browser, and I think I mean, obviously that's going after Chrome. Obviously, search is such a big part. I think Perplexity needs to do the same thing.
Hmm.
And I was thinking the other day, you know, we have, Google it. I'm thinking check Plex. Does that work? Go check
Cool.
Plex.
Flex.
Perplexity. Perplexity. Check Plex. I don't know. I don't know. That may be something there. I don't know. If anybody is using that term, I don't know. Maybe I'm just totally off base. But I'm thinking Perplexity should do the same thing with a web browser also. So I
Hmm.
see that coming. Perplexity in the last week, they have launched a shopping companion along with their search engine, and I hear it's an agent that's sounding pretty good. I've only dabbled with it. I'll probably give more information about that as we get into the holiday season because there's a few things I've already decided I wanted to work with Perplexity on to see if I can't find the right the right deal because what it does is it goes out there. You put in what you're looking for and it goes out there and finds you the deals based off of what you were looking for. And
Wow.
so it's a new, more interactive. It's not just, okay, here's a list of things. It's interactive search and interactive, you can actually talk to it. And that's really interesting too. And so I've turned that on. I've been playing with it, but I don't want to give more because really the start of this topic was the Chat-GPT browser. So we'll
That's
save
fair.
the perplexity talk for another time. But I still think this is just like many of the tools as they grow, we've seen this over and over again. People will say, "Oh, AI, it's going to be a search killer." No, it's just going to enhance search. I mean,
Right.
how long ago did they say email is dead? And I said all along, email is dead when the social media companies stop asking for it.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it has never happened. And quite honestly, email, if a lot of the traditional media is changing in some way,
Hmm.
email is becoming even more important as first
Right.
party data. And it's going to be valuable for your social as well as uh, your just general advertising. You'll need some of that really first party data, which means people you've worked with because, well, this is a profile that they can use. So I've gone off on like 20 different directions. Thank you. Anything out of that, Bryon, that has a
Well,
little bit of interest?
well, I'll try to steer us back to the road here. But I told you
Bryon,
this a few weeks ago that I installed the Chat GPT shortcut into my Google Chrome.
yes.
Um, yeah, so when you just type up in the bar before it would default to Google, now it defaults to ChatGPT. And you know what? It's been frustrating. I've
Is
found
it?
myself actually typing Google into the top bar to go to google.com and then do a search for it.
So
So I
what's
might
been
switch it back.
frustrating? Very specifically, what's been frustrating? Because I can see where it can be, but you've had more
Right.
experience doing that. So what have you found?
So yeah, instead of where Google, when Google Chrome was my browser, I would start to type something up top and like it would start to default to show me, the exact Google listing and website and information.
Yeah.
Instead, ChatGPT would take that extra step and be like, "Oh, yeah, you're trying to go to wherever.com. Here's some information about it. Here's a link to that website still." But I wouldn't get hours information, I wouldn't get reviews, I wouldn't get, all the things that you get in that Google search. So, and that's what a lot of times what I'll use that search, the little the bar on the top of my browser for. So, I'm contemplating switching it back because, I have a specific purpose as to why I go to ChatGPT typically.
Yeah.
And, to go, I'd rather it be the extra step to type in ChatGPT than have to do the extra step to type in Google.
Interesting. Very good. Yeah. I mean, obviously, Google is much richer and deeper in terms of what is there and available. It obviously
And we're
has
just used to it still.
25 years of
Right.
development behind it as related to search. And yeah, caffeine, which is the algorithm that shows, the additional the end of your sentence of what you're looking for,
Right.
has been around for about 10 years or more than that, and it's really gotten good. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and even when I talk about, AI to people and to say, hey, when Google would start to finish your sentence, you guys have been interacting with AI for some time now, almost a
yeah,
decade. So it's just gotten to that point. So,
very
but
good.
all right. So yeah, moving on from that, we're talking video.
Yeah,
And so Runway, I've got a lot of credits built up. Luckily, they didn't go away month over month and they built up, so I'm thankful for that. But
yes,
so I played with their new character mode. And you know what? It's mildly impressive to put it at best.
okay.
Maybe I didn't give it the best input to work with. So essentially what you do with this is you give it a video of up to 30 seconds.
Mhm.
That video clearly has to have a human communicating, whether they're singing, talking, doing anything. And you upload the video and essentially it finds the human's face, tracks its words, its movements, everything like that, and then extrapolates the audio, and then moves all those motions onto whatever preset character that you have, chosen. And the quantity of characters to choose from right now is very limited. And to
Yeah,
find something that's really, really going to work for your creative project, that might be tough. But you could tell they're kind of vetting the technology right now.
right.
Yeah, so I love that it's a 30-second clip. I think that's really cool. The lip syncing I thought was poor at best, but I did upload, um, footage from my band's gig. So I had a
Oh, okay.
GoPro that was, right up on the singer's face. So it was, clear shot of him and him
Yeah.
singing, but I think the lip syncing got distracted by the background audio a little
Mm.
bit. So there were times in between lyrics where its mouth was still moving a little bit. But
Oh,
then when the
okay.
lyrics would come, the mouth would be moving pretty accurately. I'd give it like a C, maybe a C minus if I were, rating it in general. But I could definitely see how somebody would be expecting something much better than this, and then a little disappointed when they get into it. So, but on the contrast to that, I did play a little more with the when you can upload an image
Yeah.
and then dictate it what to do. And so I've got some really good images from Dolly on the Chat GPT side of it, of one of the next music videos I'm working on. And it was good at giving me direction of ways that I could then communicate to it how I wanted the video to proceed. And it was okay at taking that direction. Once I followed a few more tutorials and understood how to talk to it a little better, then it was
Right.
getting better. But, the way I equate it to is like, kind of when you've got somebody, at a toddler or a little bit higher than that education level, where you've really got to be specific with your instructions of you need to do exactly this, this, and this. And if there's anything that could be misconstrued in any way, it's probably going to misconstrue it. So, but one of the things that I really like that they've added to it is there's a whole bunch of motion functions at the bottom now, to where you can
Right.
have this the scene either pan one way or zoom in or zoom out or roll or tilt. So,
Yeah.
and when you combine a roll and a tilt and a pan together, it really makes that image come alive. I had this like rainy scene of like, a kind of like a mythological type creature going through like a cityscape, but things are kind of like, purples and dark reds at nighttime. And it made him kind of look, heroic going through this scene. It animated the cars, it animated the rain. So I'll share that clip with you so we can put it up on the YouTube this week and
Yeah.
show some people what it is that I'm trying to make with it. But yeah, so there are still some really good ways of working with Runway, and this isn't too far beyond the last time I played with it a few months ago, but that was the really big takeaway, was being able to actually add your director's motion of the camera shot ahead of time. I know you said you've played with this and you've played
Yeah.
with the new expand function, so I want to
Yeah.
hear a bit about
Yeah,
that.
I do like that. It is a really nice, and not only that, it's intuitive,
Hmm.
in terms of how you can do the motion. It shows you how the movement will go, and
Yeah,
I think they've done a very good job, and I think it's very unique, the way they did it. I have not seen it presented that way. Maybe it's something
right.
I'm just not aware of, but I thought they were very uh, creative in the way they did that. To if you just have an image and then you want to make it into motion, and here's how the direction you want to go. I mean, that was pretty good. The expand video, you first think, oh, so it'll expand it from 5 seconds to 10 seconds. No, that's not it. It's actually expanded shape it. For example, if you want to
Yeah.
expand the video to vertical, you can do that. And so you can kind of reshape the video.
So
And
grabbing
that's,
a horizontal clip,
yeah,
making the vertical, but then
expanding it up or down. So that's really cool, especially if you for social media. If you
right.
want to put a nice, horizontal video that you took, but you need some room top and bottom, but you need more room top and bottom, you can do so with that expansion.
Can this make me appear taller?
Perhaps.
That's all the camera angle. All right, all right.
So, but that's where the other one is. You shoot down from
Mhm.
down up, and
Right,
the next thing
exactly.
you know. So it's really aspect ratio, generative video is what it says. Camera motion is really cool. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on overall, and I guess I just want to say I've been playing with a number of different video AI tools as well as image AI tools. And some
Hmm.
they're all at various levels, but they're all pretty darn good now. And they're
Hmm.
just going to keep tweaking it a little bit better. And really, where we are now, no, we're not at like everything is A plus video. That's not the case. But we are at the phase in which we're really looking at features
Hmm.
as much as we are the video output. Yes, as we've talked about many times, you know, it's going to be a style issue. Certain types of video or image generators have a very specific style. Like ideogram has a very specific style over, say, Dali or Midjourney. They all have their own styles that work well, and obviously better prompts will also give you better images too. But there are some others, Dream Machine, which is from Luma Labs. You may not have heard of that. That's pretty cool. It does an okay. I think it's about like Dali. Um, in video, we've talked about developing a story, which is really cool. There's also one called Steve AI, and that is nice if you want to create a longer form video. It'll do a lot of the stuff that say Runway does, except it'll actually kind of put scenes in a row. So here's
Hmm.
scene one, let's create it. And then now scene two, let's create
Yeah.
that. And scene three. And it's very logical and it's very nice. I like that one a
What's that
lot.
one called again?
Steve AI.
Steve?
Steve, as in the name Steve. Steve
Hey,
AI.
I like it.
So, yeah. So, and
It's a
there are
better name
many
than
more.
Chat-GPT.
Yeah, yeah. Good thing they bought that chat.com. I don't know what we'd
Yeah,
do with it
yeah,
if
they
we.
needed that.
Flux AI is still one of the best. Like Runway, a lot of the tools that you'll find out there, and perhaps Steve is one of them. I don't know which one they're using. A lot of them are incorporating Flux AI. And lastly, before I throw it back to you, is that a lot of the newer tools are really just taking a combination of all of the tools. We've reviewed some of them. I'm blanking. Maybe you recall some of them that we've been using or have talked about in the past where you have multiple tools available for one price. Was it u.com? Was that one of them?
Yeah, that you're now scratching the surface of my memory on that, and we'll
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to.
we have to look for that. I was looking for
Yeah,
that, and that has a lot of different versions for say one monthly price. So
right.
we're at that phase. We're getting there. We're getting there. It just depends on how you're going to use it. You can use the steve.ai for, making a longer form video. Do you need Runway for to take and create vertical video and so forth? What are your thoughts on all this?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a combination of mastering all these different tools and their specific ways of, making things work. Like I keep saying, is eventually there'll be these AI agents that already make these decisions and know which tools to use
Yeah,
to get things done. But I do like, using the benefits of different ones. Like I said, my workflow here of having a really good Dolly image and then
hmm,
taking it over to Runway to, extrapolate from there. And now I've got tons of ideas because I've taken horizontal video for years of, stuff with my band. And now I want to make, vertical video out of it and see how it expands and
yeah,
shows that. So yeah, it's exciting. But yeah, I mean, they're all getting there. And like you said, it's not quite A+ work. And, I thought the character was kind of like a C. So hopefully,
yeah.
the academics of them are getting better as we go.
Very good. All right. Well, good show. And I think we have more video to talk now through the end of the
Yeah.
year. I think I'm going to continue to explore some of the other video services because they're coming left and right. I mean, there's a couple of them that I forgot about that have improved, and there
Yeah.
are a few of them that are brand new that are out there that I haven't talked about yet. So they're
And
coming.
with all these updates, it's fun to just check in on them once,
Yeah.
every now and then, one that you haven't used in a few months and pop in and say, hey, what's new? What's going on? Even my video editing program that I use for almost everything, it's called Wondershare Filmora. And its latest update was jam-packed with AI features. So I'm gonna talk about that next week,
Oh, great.
because that's the main video editing program that I use, and now I'm actually able to get some really good captions in and things, that before were, pretty difficult to program in and have them look just right. So I'm starting to run with that. So, but yeah, until then, if anyone has any topics that they want us to cover, so, pop on over to our website, thecreativeentrepreneurshow.com. But until then, we are two creative guys talking AI.
Talk to you next week.